how can we get respect off others if we don't respect ourselves? And if you're walking around now 20, 30, 50 pounds overweight, my friend, you clearly don't respect yourself. Here we are, episode 1 of The High Performing Man. I'm Paul Bradley, and I cannot wait to kick things off on episode 1. Every single week, I'm going to provide value, no BS solutions that you can plug into your life and start taking action on so you can see changes, so you can see results. Because if you're here, it's because there's something not quite right. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Maybe you're not happy with the way you look, you feel. Maybe you know there's more. Maybe you're looking to garner the right tools, the right information, the right skill sets and mindsets so you can progress in life. Because one thing I've learned over 10 years of coaching men at a high level is that as men, if we're not moving forward, we're moving backwards. There is no standing still. And too many men at the moment are going through the motions. Maybe you're someone right now who's low on confidence, haven't got the right energy levels. Life is giving you a bit of a kick in the balls and there's a lot of stress floating around. Relationship's not where it needs to be, whether that's in business or at home. You're trying to get the respect of the kids. You're trying to get to the next level in your career. You're trying to understand what you should be doing, how to navigate the daily data life so you can feel good about yourself and battle the noise and all of the bullshit that comes your way. I don't know exactly why you're here, but there'll be something in this for you because we're going to talk about topics that aren't just the surface level nonsense. There's too much noise online these days. There's too many people in the fitness space, the personal development space, who are just waffling on, talking too much about stuff that doesn't matter. So I want to cut through that noise and I want to give you real solutions, whether it's getting yourself in great shape, physically, mentally, or emotionally. One thing I do know for sure is that one thing all men want is confidence and respect. We want to get respect at work, at home, from the wife and from the kids. We want to be admired at home, ideally, right? We want to be the heroes of our own home. We want to be respected by our friends and our peer group. But how can we get respect off others if we don't respect ourselves? And if you're walking around now 20, 30, 50 pounds overweight, my friend, you clearly don't respect yourself. So we are going to dive into the most important topics that's going to make you feel the best you've felt in years so you can perform at a high level and be a high performing man. Now, as I kick off episode 1, today I want to lay the foundation, right? For me, one of my favorite concepts is that life is a game. And if life is a game, there's levels to the game. There's rules to the game. So we're going to kick things off and talk about the rules of the game in episode 1. We're going to lay that foundation. I'm going to share with you some of the most powerful insights I've learned over the last 10 years of my own self-development journey. Because I was once that guy, skinny, fat, low motivation, low energy, drinking far too much, drowning my sorrows, drowning my insecurities behind booze, just living for the weekend, no purpose, no passion, stuck in a job that I hated. I left that job to start my own business. Okay, that business has now grown. We've served over 2,000 men in my coaching business. I help men over 40 in their 50s and 60s really take back control of their health so they can perform at their best. They can be the heroes of their homes and to make sure they've got no regrets because life is short. Life moves very, very quickly. And before you know it, you're going to be looking back at your life either full of pride or full of regret. So let's grab life by the balls now. Let's not wait too late. And as I mentioned before, every episode is a great opportunity for me to give you value, provide you with real value, no BS solutions, and it starts here right now. So we're going to dive into my 7 rules of the game, and I can't wait to kick things off. So let's go. Rule number 1. You are the number 1 asset. This is something which, when you hear this, a light bulb moment could go off. It's logical, what I'm about to say, because when I say this next part, it could trigger some of you. Most people have got their priorities completely wrong. You're prioritizing your wife, your kids, your business, making money. And listen, I totally get it. You'd think that's the right thing to do. I'm here to tell you that you got it wrong because your wife, your kids, your work, your money isn't the most important thing in your life. The most important thing in your life is you. You're the number 1 asset. If you think of a pyramid, how it usually looks, imagine a pyramid of priorities. At the top, what would deem to be the biggest priority for most men, and when I say priorities, where they spend the most amount of time, most amount of energy, would be on work. Because you've got to make money, right? And you've got to provide. I totally get it. After that, just second on the list, would be your family. Third is usually some sort of social, because you need to escape, you need to enjoy yourself, have a few drinks, go out, do what you want to do. At the bottom is you, typically speaking, picking up the scraps. And you wonder why you've got no energy. You wonder why you're not feeling great. You wonder why you're stressed out. You wonder why you've got no outlet for your stress. You wonder why you're snapping at the missus. You wonder why you just feel like crap all the time. You wonder why you're putting on weight. It's because you don't prioritize yourself. If we reverse that and we put you at the top of the pyramid, then your family, then your work, and then social at the bottom, this is the mental reframe that has led to so much success in my own life and many of my clients' life. Because if you prioritize everyone else above you, you're not going to have the energy, you're not going to have the confidence, you're not going to have the zest to become the man that you're capable of being. You're going to leave results on the table. You're going to put on more weight. You're going to get injured. You're going to lose concentration, not be as focused, not make the right confident decisions that you need to. If you feel good about yourself, high energy, high confidence, then guess what? You get everything you want. Better relationships with the missus. She's getting a more confident, in-shape guy because he's looking after himself, because you're prioritizing yourself, because you're getting to the gym early. You're getting your workouts done. You're putting the right things into your body. So you're a better version of yourself. She's looking at you like she did when she first met you, right? She can't keep her hands off you, maybe. I'm not too sure. But your bedroom game improves. Your relationship, your connection improves. You can have more energy to play with your kids. You're coming home from work right now. Some of you are coming home from work. First thing you do, bags down, on the couch. Oh, I'm fucking knackered, right? Kids are like, Dad, play with me. And you're like, oh, yeah, I'll get round to it. Poking your belly saying, Fat Daddy, come on, let's go. And you're doing nothing about it. Doesn't feel good, does it? You haven't got the energy. You're knackered. Why? Because you're not prioritizing yourself. Your career goes to the next level. You make more money because, as we know, when you're fitter and leaner, number one, you can wear the suits you want to wear the clothes you want to wear. So you walk into that office, you ooze respect. People respect the guy who's in shape. They don't respect the guy who's fat and overweight and sweating. Just don't. First impressions count. You're going to get judged either way. But more importantly, when you're fit and healthy and you're prioritizing yourself, you make better decisions. You have more energy. You're more productive. You buy back more time for yourself. Therefore, you will make more money. You will get that career progression. So you see what I'm trying to say here? You are the number one asset. Start acting like it. Rule number 2, fitness is a gateway drug to a better life. Without doubt. Every single person I know who got themselves in great shape, got themselves some abs, got lean, built up their confidence, improved their body image, okay, has gone on to achieve more. Going back to the point I just mentioned earlier, in point number 1, if you feel good about yourself, you've got confidence, you've got energy, you will achieve more. You have a better quality of life. Fitness is the gateway drug to a better quality of life. You're going to live longer. You're going to live healthier. So many men in their 40s and 50s are, the thing that keeps us up at night is, will I be around long term? Will I see my kids have their kids? Will I be able to walk my daughter down the aisle? This is serious stuff. Do you want to be around fit and healthy for your family? If you do, then fitness, being in shape. I'm not talking about becoming Arnie Schwarzenegger here. Okay, most of the guys I work with are just looking to get leaner, have a bit more confidence, have a bit more energy, know exactly how to train so they can maintain this for life, making fitness into a lifestyle. That means that you get results and keep fit and healthy so you can be around long term. And you don't have to worry, you don't have to have those sleepless nights about being able to provide for your family long term. Because if you were to perish tomorrow, what happens to everyone else? This is why fitness is so important and is a cornerstone and will lead to a better quality of life. Rule number 3, don't negotiate with terrorists. What do I mean here? Well, I believe in a theory called the hero and the hijacker. It's all in here, right? You've got 2 voices. There's one side of the brain that's like, right, this is the right thing to do. I'm going to get up early in the morning. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm not going to drink that beer. I'm not going to have that bit of cake. Okay? I'm not going to snap at the missus. I'm going to do the right thing here. All right? I call that the hero. Then you've got the hijacker, which could be the devil on the shoulder saying, yeah, but maybe 5 minutes in bed, you've earned it. Or go on, have that another beer. You know, you've had a stressful week. Or no one's going to notice if you don't go to the gym tomorrow. The hijacker will ruin you. That's why I say you don't want to negotiate with the hijacker. And a lot of this comes down to learning to say no. How many of you are people pleasers? Maybe to your missus. Oh, I'll do this, go do that. Maybe to your boss, maybe to your employees. Learn to say no. It's one of the best skill sets you can learn, one of the best practices you can know. And especially in social occasions, so many guys I know, They have a great week, Monday through to Friday. Maybe they get a few workouts done. They're on track, doing the right things nutritionally. They're, going to bed on time. They're saying no to Netflix. They're saying no to junk food during the week. Then their mate gives them a shout on a Friday or Saturday saying, fancy going to the pub for a couple of pints or something similar. And you go, oh yeah, all right, go on then. And you're not just going to have one. No one ever just has one, do they? 1 becomes 5, becomes 10. Before you know it, you're swinging on the chandeliers of the pub, shirt off, having a great time, and next day you wake up feeling like shit, and you undo all your hard work. The ability to say no massively helps when you're clear on what you want, which again, we're going to dive into over the course of this podcast series, because a lot of people don't actually know what they want. They think they do to a certain level because society says so, but you need to get super clear on actually what you want. There has to be a deeper connection towards your goals, which will massively increase your chances of actually achieving them. And again, we're going to dive into that as we progress. But learn to say no, not negotiation with what I call the inner bitch. No negotiation there means you'll be a bit more focused. Rule number 4, balance is for bitches. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Is so many men are looking for balance. I want to find work-life balance. And look, listen, it sounds nice, but you and I both know there's going to be times when you got to fucking work. There's going to be late nights. You got to get that deal done. You got those meetings coming up. You got that project needs to be finished, where you're not going to have the balance that you want. Okay, there's going to be times when you're going to have to go work out when you don't want to. There's going to be times when you miss out on certain things when it comes to family situations. That's life, especially if you're a high-performing man, if you've got to travel, if you've got to make the money. So that's going to happen, right? So one of the biggest things that I've learned myself is the concept of attention over time. How many times have you been sitting with the kids? And when we talk about this, we're talking about work-life balance, right? We're talking about trying to balance your career, making money. We're talking about keeping the missus happy, giving her the right attention she needs, making sure you're around for the kids so you can be the best you can be for them. All right. Then we're talking about having some sort of social life as well. So we're trying to balance everything. And this is the concept for me, which works the best, is attention over time. Stop trying to be everything to everyone. Going back to rule number 1, your number 1 asset. So the key thing when it comes to attention over time is, and let me give you a quick example. There's been a few occasions probably when you've been at home, maybe on a Sunday, and you spent all day with the kids. You might be on your phone, they're on their iPads, right? And you're with the kids, but you're not really there. Like, everyone's doing their own thing. So from a time perspective, you spent a lot of time with the kids. You could have had 8 hours there. But how much of that 8 hours is actually good quality time? Whereas if you focus on attention and intention, but mainly attention, you could have 1 hour of them, but it could be a fun, amazing hour, right? You're having a great time. That would trump the 8 hours of just sitting there doing nothing. So attention over time. How many of you were what I call the lastminute.com when it comes to school? When the teacher gave you a bit of homework or an assignment, she'll say, right, you've got 3 months to complete this assignment. How many of you, like me, left it all to the last minute and you crammed it all in, right? Probably quite a few of you. When you crammed it all in, you probably had 24 hours where you were just hyper-focused because you knew there's a deadline. Your attention and intention for that 24-hour period or that all-night or wherever it was hyper-focused. There was no room for distraction because you were just in there, Red Bulls, coffee, pulling all-nighter, and you were concentrated. You were locked in because you had absolute attention, right? It's the same concept. It's about the attention you give something, not always the time. So when you go to the gym, you may not have loads of time. You don't need to spend an hour and a half in the gym. Maybe half an hour is good enough, as long as the attention's right. So for me, this concept of attention over time is a very, very powerful way for you to try and find that balance that you're looking for. You may not always win, but like I say, it's about you showing up with great energy. If you're only going to have an hour with the kids, make sure it's an amazing hour. If you're only going to have half an hour with the wife, make sure it's an amazing half an hour. They will never forget how you make them feel. So even if you can't be around as much as you'd like, that interaction's amazing. Catching up with friends, you may not get to see that often. The same things applies. It applies to every single area. Attention over time is probably one of the best ways for you to try and find balance and take a little bit of pressure off your shoulders. Point number 5. Now, this is a bit controversial. Failure doesn't exist. I do not believe in failure. It does not enter my vocabulary. What do I mean by that? Failure to me is such a fatal thing. When someone says, I failed at something, the only way you really ever fail in life is if you completely fucking give up. Right? And sometimes that may be the best route for you, by the way. If you're banging a head against the wall, and you might be, there's a really good saying, it's like you can climb the ladder all the way to the top. Just make sure the ladder's leaning against the right wall. So don't be afraid of this word of failure. People are just like, they think that, oh, I failed, or I'm a loser on that. Let's just get rid of that word altogether and let's have setbacks, disappointments, because you're going to get lots of them, right? I love that phrase, that saying, you only ever win or you learn. I completely buy into that. I'm either winning or I'm learning. I'm never failing. I'm never losing. I've never lost, because I'm learning from those mistakes. I'm learning from those setbacks. I'm learning from those disappointments to redefine myself and get even better. Too many people live in this permanent state of, oh, something bad happens, that means I'm a fucking loser. No, it doesn't. It means you've had a setback, you've had a lesson to learn, go again. Okay, go again. Whether it's a marriage that didn't work out, or a job that you've lost, or getting injured. Learn from it. Go back to the drawing board. Figure out why it happened. Investigate it and go again. You only ever win or you learn. Failure does not exist. A good way of looking at this as well is the famous saying, this soon shall pass. It's kind of this permanent versus temporary mindset. And it really does help, because when you're going through shit, sometimes you're in the pitch, you're locked in and you can't see you don't have the mental clarity that you want. But every single thing soon passes and you always bounce back from it eventually. So try not to dwell in it too much. Try not to dwell in it too much. There's always seasons of the game, okay? One of my old mentors told me this. When it comes to entrepreneurship, there's so many seasons. There's winning season, which is growth season. It's a bit like being a farmer in a field, right? When the crops are growing, everything's moving in a great direction. Sometimes it's drought season. Sometimes about maintaining. There's so many seasons. Why people fail in business, why people fail as entrepreneurs, is there's too many seasons. They can't handle the seasons. So be clear on what season you're in right now. Are you winning right now? You're not where you want to be? That's okay. You're going to have seasons. This soon shall pass. And the good thing about temporary versus permanent, if right now everything's going your way and it's absolutely fucking exactly where you need to be, guess what? This soon shall pass. It's not always going to be that way. There's a kick in the balls happening around the corner. So prepare for it and enjoy it, because when things are going great, really enjoy it, appreciate it. When things aren't going so great, realize that this soon shall pass. You'll come back, you'll get your chance again. But if you're going through what I call a bit of a losing season, right, and things aren't going your way, get clear on why that's happening. All right, try and come up with a daily game plan, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But I think just being super aware of where you're at right now will make a big, big difference. Be service-minded. This is where fulfillment is. If you're someone right now, whether you're a business owner, if you're working at a company, it kind of doesn't matter right now where you're at, because we can implement this into every single area of our lives. So to be service-minded is to be in a situation where you're trying to offer value. What I'm doing right now, I want to be of service to people with no desire to receive anything back. I want to offer pure value. If I go into each day and I think about who can I impact in a positive way and don't expect anything back from, I'm coming from a place of a pure heart. If I can just go out and add value, be the best part of someone else's day. I love that saying, be the best part of someone else's day. If I do that consistently, generally speaking, I'm going to offer more value to my clients. I'm going to get better results, which then helps me grow my business and helps me live a life I want. If I want better relationships with my wife, I can really be of service to her. If I can think about what I can give before I think about what I can get. It's a very powerful way to live. And generally speaking, you get what you want anyway. There's this, everyone heard of the saying 50-50. I don't like that saying. If you're 50-50, that means there's expectations of us both doing equal work. And then you end up keeping score with the other person. We'll go 50-50 on this. So you're looking at what they're doing, they look at what you're doing. If you're not quite matching up, you think you're getting short-sighted or short-changed here. What about if you scrap that and just went into it with a mindset of, right, I'm going to give 100% regardless. Not 50-50, 100% I'm going fully in. And I'm going to give everything to it. Once I learned this concept, it completely changed the game for me. It helped me grow my business, helped me actually become a better person. My marriage improved, my relationship with my friends improved, because there's no expectations. I'm not putting conditions and things. I'm just trying to show up and do the best I can and be of value and come from a place of offering real value. Think about what you can give before you think about what you can get. Number 7, action is the only answer. Now, a lot of you may be prolific for consuming content, going on YouTube, watching a motivational video, feeling good for 5 minutes, then before you know it, you're back into a demotivated state. We've all been there. We've all been there, okay? Action is the only answer. If you're someone right now who is feeling anxious, if you're not happy with where you're at, action kills all anxiety. The thoughts in our mind that circulate create the problem. But if you don't allow it to fester and you only take action on what needs to happen, whether it's making that phone call, getting to the gym, having that conversation, right? If you actually do the work and do what's required and nip it in the bud, that anxiety goes. Okay? If you want to get to the next level with anything in life, it's all about taking action. You get these people who are master procrastinators. They think by just applying for something, they've achieved something. They think by getting the phone call, they've achieved something. They think by taking one step, they've achieved something. No, you've got to see it through. You've got to take full action because action's the only answer. The biggest difference between you, right here, right now, and that next version of you, the fitter, the leaner, the better looking, the better appearance, the guy who's got better emotional health, better physical health, the guy who's got a better marriage, better relationship with kids, better career, making more money. The difference between that guy and the guy that you actually want to be is simply taking action. Without taking action, you're going to get more of the same. It's such a simple concept, but yet people cannot take action. If you simply say you're going to do something and see it through, you have a bigger advantage over 95% of other men, because the other percentage of men are talking a good game, but not seeing it through. All right. Your actions speak so loudly, I cannot hear what you say. Quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Okay. That is so, so true. Be the guy who doesn't talk as much, but just takes action and let your results do the talking for you. Another fantastic quote here. I don't know who it's from, but I love it. Many people delay taking action because they hope to avoid suffering. They hope to avoid discomfort. They keep searching for a path that won't involve a trade-off. Everything in life has a trade-off, by the way. There are no solutions. There's only trade-offs. Okay, if you want to get that better body, you're probably going to have to make some sacrifices, is the point. You're probably going to have to say no to the beer and yes to the protein shake. But some form of suffering, some form of discomfort is always inevitable. The process of taking action is a process of choosing your path. You get to choose your discomfort. You delay doing what's necessary because it's uncomfortable. Yet, by doing that, down the line, you're going to attract more discomfort than you ever thought possible. Why? Think about it. If you're delaying getting yourself in shape and you're consistently putting on weight, what's going to happen? 4 years from now, 5 years from now, knock on a doctor's office, hey, you've got diabetes. Hey, you've got a fatty liver. Hey, you've got high cholesterol. Hey, you've got type 2. Hey, there's an issue down the line, cardiovascular disease. That's going to happen. So what's more uncomfortable? Your life being cut short, having to say goodbye to your family, or having to spend more of your later years in a doctor's surgery? What's more uncomfortable, doing that or just doing the work now? Action is the only answer. Okay? Use these rules, guys. Take some notes down and really make them your own. All right? These are rules that have worked for me. And remember, this is about understanding life's a game. There's levels to the game. If you implement these rules and you take action on them, it's going to have a big, big difference in what you're doing. There might be 1 or 2, 3, 4, maybe all of them have applied to you today. Some of them might be relevant. Some of them might not be relevant. Refine them, make it your own. Chuck out what doesn't work and really then understand what does work for you, because modeling behavior and understanding and building your own path is super important. That's what I've done. It's one of the cheat codes, is to model behavior. Look at people where you're at. Look at people that you want to emulate. Okay? Look at people who are doing what you want to do. Either get into their world and ask them questions, or emulate it or model it, but put your own spin on it. Okay? Find out what works best for you. And of course, take action. As I mentioned, these have helped me go from being a guy who was skinny fat, low energy, not going anywhere very fast in life, to becoming the man that I am today. And if you follow these steps, if you implement even 1 or 2 of them, I think this can have a big, big difference. All right. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one.